Alright, today's video we're going to do a couple tests, show the different output temperatures of this 12 volt AC Mighty Kool MK4. So first test, we have the cooler with just enough water to submerge the pump, and I'm going to go ahead and fill this completely with ice. See what kind of temperatures we get with enough water to cover the pump and all ice. So let's go ahead and do this right now. Okay, the cooler is almost full with ice, so let's go ahead and see what the temperatures are with just a bunch of ice and some water, enough water to submerge the pump. Let's see what the output temperature is going to be. Okay, with just enough water to submerge the pump and a cooler full of ice, we have 47-degree temperatures. With even smaller ice, I've seen 45. That's the coldest I've seen, and that's like, you know, legit AC, car AC Kool, which is why I bought this thing. But I think this is just about the best combo you could get. Cooler full of ice and just enough water to cover the pump. Right there, 47 degrees. Okay, here's the next test. My van's been sitting for 2 days. I left just regular water in here, left the lid open. The van's heat soaked. The water is heated up. The water in here is 103 degrees. The main reason I bought this unit is because it's going to run on just plain water. I like the cold air. I like the AC caliber output temperatures, but sometimes getting ice isn't an option, so I wanted something that'll still cool down without ice and cool down with water. This is the heart of the unit right here, the cooling pad. So this is the ice model that we're doing a test on that requires a separate container for the water or the ice, whatever you're going to cool with. In the future, I'm going to do a review, a test with this model right here. This is a water only model, and it's self-contained. There's a float right there, let you know what your water levels are. So you don't need a separate cooler for this, but this one mainly runs on water. And this one has the option of both water and ice. I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to do this demonstration right now with the heated water. Let's say you have just a water only model and you leave it in your vehicle, hot day, the water heats up. It's still going to work, and I'm going to simulate that with this unit. I'll do this unit in a future video, but for now, let's go ahead and continue with this one. So 103 degree water. I'm going to show you guys how this cools it down. Okay, this is about 5 minutes later, and we're getting 73.8 degree output temperatures right there. About 73.8. The water is still nearly 100 degrees. So 100 degree water into 73 degree output air temperatures. It's pretty good. Let me go ahead and turn this off. Let that settle in. There you can see the cooling pad. Okay, let me go ahead and pull this off again. So from 103 degree water, dropped down in temperature a little bit, but still about 100 degrees. Let me pull this off. So let's go ahead and do this. Okay. So this is how it works. I'm going to just turn it on real quick. Okay. This is supposed to be higher than the water, just so it'll circulate, but I think the water cooled down a little bit just because it's just kind of like circulating into the unit and back into the cooler. But less than 5 minutes later, you know, 100 degree water into 73 degree air. So everybody knows if you just use a regular fan inside a heat-soaked vehicle, you're just going to blow around hot air. So on to the next test. I'm going to go ahead and drain this and put room temperature water, or tap water. Let's go with tap water. I'm just going to refill this up with regular tap water in the cold setting. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, next test. Water straight out of the faucet. The water is 81.7 degrees. Right there. Okay, with water right out of the faucet, 81.8 degree water, I'm getting 69.3 degrees for the output temperature. Okay, next test. Okay, next test. The pump is submerged in water, and we have 3 frozen 1-gallon bottles. These bottles are actually cracked from the expansion of the blocks of ice inside the bottles, and I also take off the caps so that as the ice melts, it just constantly feeds the cooler with cold ice water. Best combo, actually, I said it in the beginning of the video, but actually the best combo is taking frozen 1-gallon bottles, a little water, and just filling the cooler about up to here. You don't want it to leak out of the cooler once everything's melted, but that's the best combo to get constant cold air in the 50s. You're going to get air in the 40s and into the 50s later on all day long, basically. You'll initially get 40-degree air temperatures, but once everything starts melting, you'll still get 50-degree air just because of these bottles constantly feeding the cooler with cold ice. But I'm going to go ahead and give this 5 more minutes to cool down the water. Right now we're at 69.6 degrees, so I'm going to give it about 5 more minutes, see how much colder I could get the water with just frozen 1-gallon bottles. So that's the next output temperature test. Okay, the 3 frozen 1-gallon bottles combined with the water, I have a 62.8 degree water temperature. Output temperature, we have 65.3 degrees. Okay, on to the next test. Okay, last test of the day. All 3 frozen 1-gallon bottles are in there, along with ice and some water. The reading for this is 32.3 degrees. Okay, output temperature with this combo, 43.7 degrees. Water temperature in the cooler, 34.3. If you're not comfortable with this setup, 43.7 degrees, I don't know, I think you need to buy yourself a freezer truck and sleep in that. For most people, 43.7 degrees is good enough. The only other combos I could think of is those freezer packs, maybe freezer packs combined with ice, combined with water, all kinds of combos, but this gives you guys a good idea on the output temperatures of different combinations with this setup. I like this setup the most because, like I said, the frozen 1-gallon bottles, they're going to constantly feed this cooler with cold water. And I've done a test before. I should have did a video. I'll probably do it later. But with that combo, you'll get under 50 degree output temperatures for hours, and it won't ever go above 60 for the whole day with that combination. Get a bigger cooler, and it's simple. You'll have more cooling capacity for a longer period of time. I went with this size cooler because it could fit in between the seats of my van. In fact, I'll do that right now before I wrap this video up. Okay, I went with this size cooler just because it fits in between the front seats in my van. Now, I've seen those extreme coolers. They carry like 85 gallons. I would like to get one, but I don't know, I don't think it's practical. It'll take up a lot of space, but if cooling is a priority for you, get one of those big ass extreme coolers. Have all kinds of cooling on board. when I start going on my desert adventures again, I think I'm just going to carry another cooler about this size just so I could have extra ice with me. So there's my setup right there, and it's running straight off my solar panel. Alright, everyone kick ass, be safe, and take it easy. Okay, one more thing before I wrap this video up. Let's go ahead and compare it to a car air conditioner, factory AC in a car. So it's on the coldest setting, highest fan setting, and the temperature is 45.9 degrees. So it's like a real car AC basically, 45.9. So it works, not too shabby. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off now. So there you have it. There's the different output temperatures on the mighty Kool MK4. Alright everyone, kick ass, be safe, and take it easy.